friends, welcome back. So today we're going to be heading to Afton State Park. Well, tonight actually. It's Friday afternoon after work, and I am going to do a quick overnight tonight and then going to hit some hills tomorrow and do some rucking around. This is locally kind of an area that's has some hills. I'm trying to get ready for a trip out to the Adirondacks in 3 weeks and just trying to get a little bit of last minute kind of elevation and ups and downs. So I'll be heading out rucking tomorrow to do that, and then tonight just heading in, decided to make a night of it and heading into the backpack insights here to do some camping. So here we are right here, and we will be heading up to the backpack sites up here. So it is only about 3/4 of a mile to get to the site, and I have what I am calling the kitchen sink of backpacking. I brought everything that I wanted. I spared no expense, so we're gonna since it's not too far in, so I'm gonna load everything up and away we go. All right, so got all loaded up, heading into my campsite. Must have something in the back of my pack is making a lot of noise. But I just ran into the park ranger, and he saw me all loaded up and is like, "Oh, you must be a serious hiker. You must be out here training for something." And so he said he had seen people out here doing the same thing before, so he stopped and chatted with me for quite a bit. He showed me all the steep spots of the trail to hit, and apparently there is one trail or a part of a trail called the meat grinder, so we will definitely be having to hit that up tomorrow. Rucking, if you're not familiar with it, is walking with weight. So I could essentially, this is kind of could be considered rucking, but I have a rucking backpack that I just put weight plates in, where I'll leave this stuff at the campsite. I live in Minneapolis. This park is in Hastings, which Hastings is my hometown, and I am a little confused at how this is in Hastings. There's actually a town called Afton a few miles that way. If you're from Hastings, I don't think you necessarily think of Afton State Park as being part of Hastings, because the town of Afton is not too far that way, and Hastings, the actual town of Hastings, is 10 miles south of here. So this feels almost like Cottage Grove's backyard, or Afton's, but surprisingly enough, I'm basically camping in my hometown tonight. The brochure said it was a 3/4 of a mile strenuous hike to get here. So although I normally wouldn't consider it too strenuous, I am lugging about 40 pounds uphill, and it's warm out, so it is feeling strenuous at the moment. All right, we found our turnoff. Sites 12 and 13. I see trees, so hopefully that's promising. So here's home sweet home for the night. It's a nice little site. I was a little concerned when I first dipped off. There was kind of a prairie with a couple trees, and I thought maybe that counted as the wooded area, but it does come back here a little more secluded into the woods, so that's great. Picnic table, fire grate, and this is a really cool feature here too, is that they have hammock stands for hammock campers. I have a tent, so I'll be getting my tent set up over here, but quite a few hammock stands here, so I'm going to start getting camp set up. Got everything set up in there. Now the quest to go find some water and fill up. So when I was talking to the park ranger, they said that you could buy some firewood here, or get firewood here. It's looking a little more labor intensive than I was hoping for. I am kind of hungry and a little lazy, so we may not be doing this. We got our water It is nice and cold, really cold, so that will be good. I'm gonna down some of this. I feel like I'm a little dehydrated, always dehydrated, I think. One thing that's really nice, and I don't want to jinx it, is I have not seen a mosquito yet. So there's only been one other time camping this year that I haven't seen any mosquitoes. Every other time they've been atrocious everywhere, just terrible, terrible mosquitoes. So it's kind of either been all or nothing this season, is all the mosquitoes or no mosquitoes. So I don't know if they've sprayed this park or what, but I gotta tell you, it's really, really, really nice. All right, time to pull out the bag of tricks to see what's for dinner. So I think I'm gonna have some tuna. And I have some leftover from another trip that I was on, half of a north side rice. So I think I'm gonna mix together the rice and chicken. So this is a great backpacking meal that I usually will bring with me backpacking. Obviously you don't have to keep it refrigerated. It's really easy to make. It's nice to have a hot meal too. So we are going with that. And then of course I have treats in here. I have mini Swedish fish and some peanut butter cups. What else do I got in here? Oh, one of my favorite guiltiest pleasures of late is these Nerds gummies. I actually put these in a smaller bag from the original bag so that I would not eat the entire bag. So this is my rationed portion. We'll see how much self-control I have. P.S. it's none. Let's get dinner going. Just got a little ERS stove. Again, kitchen sink. I did bring my jet boil as well. It's in the tent now that I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to need a lot of water for this rice at all. It's only a half a pack. Maybe a little more. Maybe save the cold water to drink. Another tip, make sure to put your handles out before you put it on there. Alrighty, we got boiling water. It's a little hot, so we'll just hold it like that. So then I do not pay attention to how much it says to put in there. It's the ratio's off with these, so I usually just put in enough to cover the rice that's in there. And I just fold it down. And I will let that sit and hang out. One thing I did forget, and you will want to do this, is you want to make sure to stir it. That was my bad. Rookie mistake. And especially get the corners. Otherwise you're gonna have some sludge in there. I'm gonna put just a little bit more water in there. All right, while dinner is rehydrating, I'm gonna check out the map here to get a plan of attack for tomorrow. And this is where the meat grinder is, so I'm kind of curious about that. All right, let's see if dinner's ready. I'm gonna call that good. Mix it up, and that's dinner. There is also a little bit of a pretty view behind me with the sun going down. I'm not sure if it's coming through, but it's just a really peaceful evening out here. So it's really nice and quite relaxing. All right, so dinner's done. I've moved on to the treats, all the treats, working my way through those. But I think it's about time to go on a walkabout around the campsites and see what the campground has to offer. There's probably a gas station nearby. I can get some of these tomorrow. Just saying. I'm cutting myself off. In case there's any riffraff around here. All right, walkabout complete. Got some more water. I did some of the campground. I didn't do all of it. A lot of the sites are kind of tucked back, so you have to like go back and walk back to them, kind of like my site is all the way back here, and I don't want to walk into people's campsites. So I saw a few that were really close to the path to get in, which I made note of. Those are the ones I do not want to stay at. Turned to my right and saw this guy. Scared me to death, and there's a little baby back there, so I am a little nervous that they are going to be scared of me, so I'm just gonna keep walking. Closer look at how cute they are. Got the inside of the tent all set up. I've got my coffee bar, if you will, set up over here ready to go for tomorrow morning. I'm just gonna relax in the tent. Didn't end up having a fire. I just didn't really want to deal with that because I just kind of wanted to sit and chill. I've got a really nice view out of my tent here of the sun going down in the sky and listening to the nighttime sounds. So I'm also going to probably indulge in the rest of my treats, and then I'm just gonna go to bed. So I'll see you at coffee time in the morning. Good morning, friends. Just getting up and getting out of the tent here, getting my stuff ready to go make some coffee. Got my map to check out and kind of plot a course of action for this morning. Did get a little rain overnight, but it's looking a little gray right now, so I'm gonna go check out the weather and see what that's all about. Get some coffee going. The weather is pretty mild, which is really nice. And it's been really nice that having this door open first time this season, I've been able to do that and not have a million mosquitoes trying to get in and attack me. So this has just been very nice. And I will say it is extremely humid. Everything feels very, very damp. So just gonna pull this together and go get some much needed coffee. Coffee time. Whoop. Ready to go. Perfect little pour over. Pretty excited for this. All right, I was able to check the weather. It does look like it's gonna rain from about 11 to 2, or a chance of rain from 11 to 2. It's looking pretty gray out, so it should be fine. It's about 7 o'clock now, so I'm gonna finish up coffee, have a little breakfast, and then I'm gonna bring one of my bags down to the car, grab my rucking stuff, and go do a loop around, get a little hiking in, and then I'll probably call it a day from there. Oh, the humidity is something. It's my hair be curling. All the things are happening.
breakfast is ready. Have a little oatmeal. You can kind of see behind me. It's a little dark and gray, so we'll see if the rain holds out till 11. Time to wrap up coffee and breakfast and get on trail. Here's the lovely St. Croix River. We camped right up in that area there last night. And I just climbed a bunch of steps to get up here. Almost back to the car. All right, so got the bag all ready. I got my water, I got my keys. So time to go check out this meat grinder situation and ready to go ruck. Just doing the paved walk to get to the trail. So for reference, in my ruck bag with my water and everything, I probably am doing a 20-pound carry, which I don't think I necessarily needed to do that much. For reference, when I go backpacking, 1-2 night trip, I can usually, my pack weight with water is usually around 21 pounds. I can even get that down more into the 19 pound range, just depending on what luxuries I decide to bring with me and what's worth it. But for the most part, I try to go as light as possible when I'm backpacking, especially up on the Superior hiking trail. It makes it a lot more comfortable when you're out doing long miles. Doing a shorter thing like this, the whole purpose is to have a little weight and get a little workout in, where when you're doing 15-20 miles on the Superior hiking trail up and down, just naturally, even without weight, you get a really good grind in doing that. I just veered off. Now I'm on a dirt path. It went from a grass path to a dirt path. The signs aren't marked super well, but I did pull up all trails and it looks like I'm heading to the right spot. But so far, no difficulty. On the last map that I did see, right at the very end of this path, it was a little squiggle line, and the legend said that was most difficult, and it was just a tiny little piece. So I don't know. We'll go see what this has, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like it might just be a fairly flat route to possibly a little bit of elevation here right towards the end of the meat grinder. We've reached the river. So that coming down was the meat grinder. So I just went down it, so now let's go up it. So here is the meat grinder. I'm gonna get a solid 50 feet of elevation gain on this one. So maybe go up and down it a few times just to kind of get a little bit of hill work in, but overall, wah, wah, wah. Well, I made it to the top. It's got me breathing hard, so a little bit of hill work. It was very short though, so just wrapping this one up. Back to the paved portion. My watch has got me at a whopping 452 feet of elevation gain. I'm just not going to get the elevation out here for training. For reference, at the Adirondacks, the high peaks are going to be 4,000 to 5,000 feet of elevation gain and multi-hour day hikes. So I will just wait to be humbled by those high peaks and adjust my plan accordingly. I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Anything else I do today is going to be pretty repetitive to what I've already done. So if you like this video, click subscribe, punch the bell notification to follow along on my future adventures. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Wild Fox Outdoors. I hope to see you on the trail. Stay wild.